Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura Kay, and if you are new here, welcome. This is a lovely little collective. We're just starting out, and I'm just so grateful for the few of you who have seen my videos lately and decided to stick around. So today I want to share with you a card reading that I did for myself this morning, and I stuck it in my purse and I was like, let me keep this throughout the day to just think about, because not that I even need the reminder. I've been having conversations about all of this with all of my friends lately and stuff. We already know the drill, but sometimes vocalizing it and putting it out into the world can really help the embodiment, like the gnosis of these knowings and these things that Spirit has been telling us. So I just wanted to share this with you. Maybe some of you are going to resonate. I'm sure if you're drawn to this, you probably will. So the first card that I have here is the White Tara. And the White Tara card comes from, I think it's called like Mastering the Four Elements. It's like an oracle deck that I have. That card I've actually had on me in my purse for like 2 weeks now. Since before Hurricane Beryl, and today is July 20th when you're watching this, though whenever you're watching this it's fine. It should still resonate, but we're coming up to this full moon in Capricorn right now, and it's very much like stand on business type of energy. And that feels like all the signs have just been like, here is what you need to change and what you need to do and how you need to walk in alignment with the future version of self and do things that are serving that version of self than like the past, the not older self, but you know what I mean. The you that was stuck in the past, that had these patterns and limiting beliefs and all that kind of stuff, and starting to break through that and move through. So this White Tara card I have kept on me for like 2 weeks, because it's very much like, it makes me think of the spiritual awakening, but like the knowledge of, being a spiritual being, having a human experience. And it's like kind of this person looking at the white lotus, and it kind of looks like she's sending energy to it. Like we do send energy from our eyes, whatever we give our attention to. And that's something that we learn in Reiki too, like being able to send energy from the eyes. And it's almost like the energy that she's giving her attention to this flower. The flower of the lotus usually represents spiritual awakening, and the white lotus is like purity, purification. I think as you give more attention to that spiritual side of self and allow it to have space to be, and it can be so hard sometimes because we're like, oh, like some of the people around me aren't gonna understand and blah 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 blah. But like these conversations that we have, they feel the best and they feel so aligned, and I should be doing things that feel the best and that feel aligned. I should make space for myself to be able to have these conversations, or speaking with my friends who do want to have these conversations, right? It's about the quality of friendships, not the quantity. And that's what we're about to get into with some of these cards. So first I'm going to show you, I guess I'll show you the tarot spread that I pulled. No, I'm going to show you this oracle card. So it's from my Shaman Oracle deck, and it's the horse. And the horse says peace, gregariousness, progress, instinctiveness, responsiveness, spirit, freedom, stamina, vitality, and recklessness. And this recklessness makes me think of being able to look at the past version of self and tear it up and be like, hey, here's what didn't work for me, and like, it's beautiful that your heart did this and whatever, and it thought it was doing the right thing, but tear that apart, because that is not who future self is. Future self is a king, queen, priest, priestess, emperor, empress, like, and needs to walk as such and to embody that and be like, and it says peace and progress, which I really love. It feels like we're moving towards a more balanced, like peaceful, the instinctiveness and responsiveness and spirit. It's like it can be kind of scary with the unknown stuff. But if you're watching this, I think that you have a lot of spiritual knowledge and a lot of understanding, and you downplay it a lot. Like, you in your own mind are like, because like the rest of so many people around you like don't appreciate that stuff. But it's like, no, your way of thinking, your perspective on the world is so much more valuable than you realize, than you give yourself credit for. And you need to start giving yourself more credit for that, first of all. But you need to allow yourself the space to be able to see that and to have friendships and connections and community where you can share these things and, you know, see more of it. And yeah, like building these spaces and feeding into the friendships that allow for that is going to incredibly shift you much faster into where you want to be. And we notice, like, when we do things like spirit work and stuff like that, like it just like it feels so aligned. And don't you just want to be like in alignment all the time? Like, the more that you microdose that like deep connection with spirit, it's like this has to be there all the time. You realize, though, as you do that, as you microdose that like embodiment of it, you realize that I have always been so deeply connected. I have always been really awake and like kind of in like some enlightenment. And I had this like realization recently that like I have always been enlightened. It's just been like these things that I put up as like a mask, like these things that I do, these limiting beliefs and things like that, when really like I have always been so aware. I've always been really awake. And even in moments where I don't think that I was, I realized that I always was and always have been. And it's like just even more further like making me realize that like this is all I should be putting my attention to right now. I mean, for the most part, like and then the beautiful friendships that bring about these realizations, right? Because I have so many beautiful friends around me who we have these conversations a lot, and lately we've been having them more and more realizations of like things aren't working out for us in other situations. And it's kind of hard when, you know, we can be like attached to people and situations and ideas of what we thought things were going to be, and spirit is like, no, like my plan for you is better, like follow this. You're not going to understand, you're going to feel like you're free falling and you're jumping into the void, but it's gonna be beautiful. And you know what, it seems dark in that unknown aspect, but you are a light. You are guiding your own way. You are bright and beautiful, and you are protected by your guides and your ancestors and God, and like everyone that loves you, their prayers and their admiration, and even people who you don't think love you or don't show you much, they do, they really do. And it's so much more vast than you even realize. I want to cry, I'm not going to, but like it's so true, and that's what spirit keeps telling me. So I'm going to show you these cards that we have right now. We have the devil, the Queen of Laurels, the Eight of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Hermit. What an interesting order, guys. So we've got the Devil and the Queen of Laurels, the Eight of Wands, and it feels like there were a lot of ways that you weren't standing up for yourself, that people were taking advantage. And this Queen of Laurels like has a plan for the future. She's like the Queen of Pentacles. She's got she's very abundant and very stable, and like a grounding earth energy, like a grounded leader. And that's what you see for yourself. And it's telling you, the Eight of Wands, to jump, like go for it. Then the more that you sit and procrastinate in the regular moment every day, like even perfectionism is procrastination, just very like version of it, full of rules and full of even more conditions and expectations, and it's kind of scary. But like I'm I have in the past been very much a perfectionist, so I totally understand, especially as an artist. It's like, I can make great art and I just need to start putting it out, but like I'll sit there and be like, but it has to be perfect. What is perfect? It's your thing that nobody has ever created, that nobody's going to create. Just put it out there. Like, just do it. It's already beautiful. You don't have to sit on it for months, because then you're gonna not want to put it out. Like, and that could be so many things. But anyway, so we've got the High Priestess and then the Hermit right after that, 8 of Wands. And so it's like, jump into this High Priestess, this like deep connection to spirit and to understanding. And I almost feel like she's like holding the Akashic records like in her hands, like the knowing of so much depth. And those of us who are very connected to spirit are able to connect with the Akashic records and with things like that can assist us in every present moment. And no matter what, like what you're gonna need is going to come for you, as long as you're free falling and going with the flow of, you know, going where the current wants to take you and not fighting the stream, you know. And we can tend to do that like in our regular life, when we're listening to other people, or we get kind of stuck in the mundane, like feeling like this is how everything has to be. Like, there is such a greater plan. And the more that you literally just walk in this High Priestess energy and show that to the world, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to go into like a hermit phase. You're gonna have to cut yourself off from some of the social settings and things like that to really understand your own energy and to really be able to feel what is for you, what is in your alignment, and what is not. And that is okay. It is okay to have to separate from other people for some time, because that's when you can go into your heart and you can learn to manage your own energy, but you can go into that more like fifth dimensional consciousness of being, and then you can come back out into the world and you can bring that into the world as you live. And I think of this that concept of like third dimensional, 5-dimensional. The 5th dimensional is like living in the heart and really being in understanding with the heart-centered knowings, and living a lot less in the mind and being more connected to your spirit. And I think that's what this world needs. It needs a lot more of us to function from that 5th dimensional way of maneuvering through the heart. And any way that you give your love is always going to come back to you tenfold. So don't hold yourself in like an upset feeling of, oh, I gave my love in this way and so didn't give it back, and I feel depleted, I feel blah, 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 blah. And it's totally reasonable to feel that way at some point, but you have to start realizing that my heart is so beautiful and it is so vast and expansive, and I gave that love and I am still ready to give some more, and I am strong and I am refilled by my own energy and my own life force. And you are able to do that much better when you do take time away from going to all these social things and blah, 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 like taking more time to really be alone. It is so important right now that us as a collective, that we are breaking these habits of codependency, because it has kept so much of us, so many of us out of our power for generations. And we can have solid, beautiful connections and relationships while not being codependent on each other. And that doesn't mean go be hyper independent. It means we still need each other and we need these conversations. But like the way that I'm doing it right now is like, I'm not having these conversations with whoever I find at the lunch table. I'm talking like I'm at school, but like whoever I find at work, whatever clique I find right there. It's not sharing all this stuff there. It's like putting it out onto YouTube into the world, where I know that the algorithm is going to send it to who wants to hear it. And if they don't, they're gonna leave and they're gonna go. It's putting it in places that are going to appreciate it or going to respect it, and not everybody's going to, and that is fine. But like being intentional about where things are going and not giving it to people who are not gonna, because then I'm gonna feel drained, like if they're not gonna understand it. Though I can look back on those things and I can realize that I've planted seeds for people and things like that, and you know, there's always a way to change your perspective where everything's working out for me. And that's how the high priestess, like the high priest, they would be, is like so deeply connected that nothing that happens outside of me can keep me away from my knowing that I am doing the right thing. I am good. I am fine. If somebody is upset with me, that's a you problem, not me. Like, and I'm not even like, and we don't even do anything to like intentionally upset people, like, right? It's more about intentions than actually like how people's emotions are interpreting things. So I'm going to show you 2 more oracle cards that I also pulled. So, and I feel like I've already gone over this, but this one is Lifting the Veil. This card is so beautiful, the Starseed Oracle deck. So beautiful. So we have Lifting the Veil. It says, question everything. Anything aligned must go. And the high priest isn't sitting around, you know, hanging out with sheep when they're a lion, a lioness, whatever. Like, they have better things to do. And you know what? Even in their position where they're at, yeah, they have to go be in their own space, but the things that they do share with people is going to trickle down to those sheep, and everybody is going to benefit from them sitting in their power. So they need to claim that power. It's like, you need to be okay with saying no, with holding boundaries, with hurting people. If you're not intentionally hurting them, all you're doing is keeping your energy away from them and keeping it to yourself. That's literally all you're doing. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. And this says you're not for everyone, because you're not. Embrace your weirdness and face your true north, right? Maybe your north node is significant, something that you want to look at if you're interested in astrology and stuff. Remind yourself of what your north node is, because I bet you've been that's where you're trying to go. And but yeah, like, you are a very spiritually inclined person, and you're so connected, and the more that you feed into that and you allow yourself to be seen in spaces like these, that we communicate about this depth of stuff, things move really fast when you're in these spaces of this kind of energy where we can be open about these things. And I am reminding myself that this white tarot card that I brought up at the beginning is very blue, and that is throat chakra, which is about communicating effectively and also like speaking your truth, moving and living in your truth. And that is so important for us right now, especially during this Capricorn full moon. Like, we need to be standing up for our truth and walking for our truth in the present moment. And it's not to get so like stuck on where I want my future to be and like dwelling on that, because the more that you sit and think, the more that you're procrastinating. And we need to break free of that procrastinating tendency and just allow ourselves to move in the moment and know that you are held, you are hugged by spirit every minute of every day. And so allow yourself to feel that comfort and to keep moving as that high priestess that you are. And it's okay to need your alone time in your space, right? Being alone, it really means all one, because everything is connected, and you get to really see that and understand that. And this connection with spirit is just so much deeper than any of these surface level connections we find ourselves getting attached to and whatever. Like, I'm so over that. So over that. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this and for co-creating this with me, because if this found you and you're still listening at this point, probably is for you. And I'm so grateful that you that you wanted to listen to this, and I hope that this message really resonates with you. And if it does, please leave a comment and let me know. I would love to hear about it. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Much love and many blessings. Bye for now.